Larry Elder is the front runner. Larry Elder is the front runner if Gavin Newsom is voted to be recalled. Now, this is a problem because he's a little crazy, and recently he was on Candace Owens' show to talk a little bit about his thoughts on reparations for the slave owners.
The UK was ahead of us. They were. Do you know that the slave owners were compensated? After they lost their quote-unquote property, the government compensated slave owners.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so when people talk about reparations, do they really want to have that conversation? Because, like it or not, slavery was legal. And so their property, their legal property, was taken away from them after the Civil War. So you could make an argument that the people that are owed reparations, and not only just black people, but also the people whose quote property, close quote, was taken away after the end of the Civil War.
But the slave owners did get paid by the government after they, emancipated slaves. So I don't understand what point he's trying to make, other than appeal to awful racists in the country, right? Like, let's not talk about reparations, because if we do talk about reparations, then we'll have a conversation about paying the slave owners. But the slave owners did get paid.
Yeah.
The people who were exploited, who were tortured, brutalized, forced to work for free, they didn't get anything. I mean, it's just okay.
Yeah. So it's called District of Columbia Emancipation Act. It was in 1862, and it applied to the District of Columbia, but it was really important as a national precedent. And they paid slave owners $300 for every slave after they were emancipated in the district, okay? So the slave owners did get reparations in that context. In the UK, they paid 20 million pounds overall to the slave owners to compensate them for taking their property. But now the most important point, let's remember that the property they're referring to was human beings. So for example, there's 1,000 horrific things that happen in slavery, snatching away people's babies and selling them off, quite literally, right? And whippings, etc. But one of the things that happened that people don't talk about because it's so horribly uncomfortable is rape. So what they're saying is, well, look, that was my property and I was busy raping it, and now I don't get to rape it anymore or have it work for free or both most of the time. And so you owe me money because now I'm not gonna get to use her body to rape anymore. And that's Larry Elder, an African American, making that point. Candace Owens saying that's a brilliant point. I mean, we gotta compensate them. Why don't we compensate the slave owners? Guys, for God's sake, man, is there no bounds to how much you'll sell out? How gross you are?
No, there is no bounds. Obviously, there are no bounds.
Yeah, but no actual reparations for African Americans, but poor white folks who own slaves and couldn't use them for anything that they wanted anymore. I mean, you miss out on the fun of whippings and all that stuff, and they're not even compensating white people for that. Larry Elder and Candace Owens complain on behalf of the worst people in America because this is their racket. This is how they get paid, because white right-wing racists love Larry Elder, they love Candace Owens, they finance their whole careers, just say terrible things about black people, and we'll pay you. And they go, yes, sir, thank you, sir. And they tell you the slave owners should have been paid, but not the people who were freed, because they're disgusting. That guy's leading now in California. Okay, congratulations, Democratic Party, you're so brilliant at politics. Thanks for watching the Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.